Just coming through, ladies and gentlemen. There are no takers for this K-brand extremism that's being pushed by our enemy across the border as a narrative. And there is increasing frustration that is being witnessed. And this is a story that we must bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, on the eve of our Independence Day, because the world over, people are standing for a united India, an India where everybody, every religion, caste, community, creed thrive, and which is also poised to become one of the top 3 economies in the world in the next 5 years. The frustration of this K-gang is out. Sikh groups are feeling that they are losing respect and love across the world due to this entire radical approach, and there is no active support. In fact, support is actually dying down. That's what we are given to understand. Now have a look at this. This is the information that we have. It's a mega CNN News 18 exclusive. Our group editor security, Manoj Gupta, getting us these details. Have a look at this. Sikh groups are concerned over the global respect and affection due to the radical approach, because majority of the Sikhs don't agree with this. And they are saying the acts of a few is demeaning the entire community. Sikh groups feel their legacy of hospitality, charity is being overshadowed. The story of Sikhi itself finds its roots in Sanatan Dharma, and that is a reality. There's no point taking that away. It's rooted with India and India's security. Families have sacrificed so many for the safety of Bharat, and that story, and that's the pride the Sikhs wear so much on their sleeve, generation after generation. K-gangs have no association with Guru Granth Sahib. In fact, those who stand there and say that we are doing it for Sikhi themselves are insulting Sikhi with the way their attire is and what they call themselves. They don't even follow the 5 principles of Sikhi. So these are all aspects that stand out. Sense of leadership void among Sikhs in UK, USA, Germany, France and Canada. Where are the right voices, the right-minded voices? Why are they being forced into silence? A lot of them have had enough of this bullying and they are not going to take it anymore. Sikhs abroad are facing harassment from aggressive activists for expressing criticism, but they are not going to wilt now. That's the sense we're getting. Many Sikh groups feel that this entire Khalistan issue has been blown out of proportion in India, whereas it's got no legs at all. On ground, there are no takers in India. You're making a lot of noise all over the world, but there are no takers for it in India. Lieutenant General KJ Singh is with us, and we also have Puneet Sahni joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind. Yeah, Puneet, I must say, I just love to see that turban. The tricolor as a turban, for me, I'm a fan of that. You know, मेरे कोट में झंडा है, आपने तो सिर में, आपने तो पगड़ी में पग में झंडा लगाया. It's just amazing. But General KJ Singh is also looking at the flag on his coat sleeve. So fantastic. So har ghar mein tilanga, har dil mein tiranga. That's what we are working towards. But General KJ Singh, would you agree this frustration, is it evident? And also the countermeasures which have happened. India's diplomatic initiative has taken time, but we are seeing it manifest in Australia, in the UK, in Canada, in the US. Plus we've also done away with some of these pests.
See, Anand, you have flagged a very appropriate and important issue. Basically, it is because our Independence Day is coming, these people want to stay in some kind of news. See, what has happened in British Columbia is 2 or 3 thugs and lunatic kind of elements have gone there. They have put some posters, they vandalized the temple, and they've run away. They've not taken a stand or done anything which is courageous. It's a cowardice. So this is the kind of activity which is to generate news, to remain relevant. Now in these societies, there is a realization, there is an introspection happening. See, recently, the British envoy came here, they discussed with us, they are setting up a fund to counter radicalism. That's the fallout of Colin Bloom report, where their own expert had flagged that this is very dangerous tendency. It needs to be curbed. Our diplomats have also had success. Australia has also instituted some measures. Canada is also coming around to at least making correct noises. But the problem is there is a huge big vote bank. I interact with some Canadians and I ask them, then how is it that that's happening? They say, see, we are not interested. We are not the kind of element elements who will get involved in this. We are doing our business, we are doing our trade, but it is time that our opinion makers encourage these people to take up a stand and to speak for this cause, that you can't allow this fringe element to hijack the entire Canadian diaspora, which has made a good name for itself. But these people who are really fringe, they are doing some very nominal kind of activity over there, but they want to remain relevant. Now, and there is also a realization that there is absolutely no traction in India. After what happened to Amritpal, nobody stood up for him. Just no. They called him Bagoda, and all those names were given. And when I speak to people here, they tell me, sir, they are just creating some noise with they say, Kap pare, you all give it too much of importance. That's how our people are looking at it. So I hope the Canadian government, the law enforcement agencies, come down heavily on these people and send a message across Anand.
Would you agree? Would you agree, Puneet, that one of the biggest problems is that it started in India when politics entered the SGPC? The same way that it is politics that is actually dictating all of this entire patronizing such lumpen elements, and it's a handful of them who come there and who create so much of ruckus. But how do you deal with such elements? What should be done?
See, SGPC...
Sir, General Singh, Puneet, and then I'll come back to you, sir.
See, I agree with some of your points, and actually I disagree with you. So when you talk about these lumpen elements and that these people don't have support, you are right. But the thing is, these people are at it for 30 years. In Canada, they never stopped. In India, this nuisance was not there. And I disagree with sir. He is saying, it is not. Actually, this has come in India. Like, I am from Delhi, where the Sikh pogrom happened in '84. And we never saw a picture of Bhindranwale, where we suffered. There was nothing. Now it's everywhere after this Khalistan Andolan. So you can say it's fringe, but it's actually growing. And, with all due respect to you and also your guest, I am a student of economics. You are going on procedures. India is doing to Australia. I am a student of economics. I believe in outcomes. And if you are an honest person and if you are a fair analyzer, and, we have to do this for our country, then you have to concede this nuisance did not exist at Mr. Manmohan Singh's premiership. And I don't doubt the intentions of Prime Minister Modi. I'm sure his intentions are very pure. But he has taken a lot of steps which he thought, he actually made the mistake that the Khalistanis are some representative of the Sikhs. And he went and appeased them. And if you see all this nuisance that we are actually in this show and debating now, it's only now. You were also living, 10 years ago, and I also was living. Did you even hear that something is like this? So they have done, we have to put... I am not saying that we have done Dimash, we have done this, and we have done... Oh, bhai, outcome kya hai? What is the outcome? Outcome is what steps they have taken. The country's national interest has been harmed. And again, this is not the topic of your discussion. I take a strong exception to what Mr. Modi has said in the parliament about Blue Star as well. And they don't understand what will be the two steps. You see what Akalis are saying now. This Bhindranwala desecrated the Golden Temple. Rather than that, you play politics with national security. It's very wrong. And this is what they have been doing for the last 9 years, maybe out of pure intentions. I concede that they are not some traitors or they don't have any animus against the Sikhs. And brother, I want to just tell you, when we talk about that they don't have support, you have to put it in context. I tell you, Bhindranwala, when he was himself there, his right-hand man, you can imagine, he was in a way running the election. Do you know, he actually lost the Gurdwara election by one of the greatest Punjabi. His name was Jathedar Jeevan Singh Umranagar. From Beas, he lost the election. So, and I have given actually very careful sociological data. Even at the time in 1980s and 90s, these thugs has no traction amongst the Punjabi community. And I have the data if you want, if you give me but even at that time, what were the consequences?
Correct.
25,000 people were killed in this, in a decade. So when you say they don't have support, that doesn't mean that they cannot cause, catastrophe and destruction. We have to put that in. I'm never saying that they have support.
Make a fair point,
I can give you data. Right. So that is my point.
No, you make a fair point. And you're also saying that somewhere the leeway that was given, that to try and say that, listen, I'll come and embrace you. I'll try and come bring you back into the fold, that didn't change the way they thought, and perhaps that emboldened them to think that they can give manifestation perhaps to what their machinations were at a time when it looked like you're appeasing them. But that's true, but you have to go there with the thought process that the larger number, say about 300 plus who are taken off that list, all 300 are not the ones who have turned around. There is 20-30 odd who have turned around and spoilt it all. But General KJ Singh, Puneet, before I come back to you for a comment, let General KJ Singh also weigh in on this and then I'll come back. General KJ Singh, where do you stand? So for the sake of those two, so should we look at the 250, 270 odd who have reformed, or should we worry about the 25, 30 odd who have come here and stoked so much of trouble across the board?
See, one basic problem is the politics of Punjab. This SGPC element and the Akali Dal. Now what happens is, moment the party is out of power, they start behaving very irresponsibly. Akali Dal was in power, it was in coalition with ruling party, everything was okay. Now, moment they are out of power, they have to somehow find relevance. And it also sprouts certain competitive factions which want to take even more extremist line, because how you find relevance in society is that you appear to be more radical than the other. So you have this Taksali and few other factions which come up. So all in all, it's not as if we can't have a proper dialogue, or we can't because I interact with large number of people here, and while I respect the sentiments of Mr. Sani and I feel equally concerned, and I feel that we should involve people like him to bring better results in our dialogue. But the fact of the matter is also that largely people here they do not approve of what has happened earlier. Like in villages and all, people call it santap. Santap, suffering and misery. So they're not for it. They want, and Punjab has today more relevant problems. Dealing with drugs, waterlogging, rotation, all these are very relevant problems.
No, but
and in this we are getting caught in this unnecessary, and because there is a K2 cell in ISI which has to show results, so they keep feeding these elements and they have to periodically bring it up.
See,
but we have to remain focused.
Gee, political ideologies are on one side. One can always continue to fight on political ideologies as far as elections, but we are all Indian citizens. Most important story in Punjab today is that there is a future in Punjab and not in Canada or UK. That has to percolate down right at the grassroots, because the villages are getting empty. People are queuing up at airports. The crowd that I see at the Delhi airport for the people who are wanting to leave this country for good and get away to places like Australia, places like UK, places like Canada, or even the US, or wherever possible. That is a sad state of affairs, and that means you're disillusioned with your own country. And if you're disillusioned with your own country, you're like driftwood. Anybody and everybody can then corrupt your mindset and say this is what you need to do. And they will use this entire disgruntled element to turn it around into a narrative that then becomes an anti-India sentiment on foreign soil. Puneet, final word.
Yeah, so see, brother, when you said citizen, it is a very important word. We just use it like citizen means like my loyalty is to you and your loyalty is to me, then your tribe, right? Now, what BJP doesn't understand, and I hope like I am able to explain this, SGPC is basically running on Muslim League, and it comes from the same time, and they have like do Qaumi Nazariya, separate nationhood. What they call Muslim League called Juda Gona Qawmiyat, they say Vakri Qawm, whereas Gurus have never used the word Qawm. So you see, Mahatma Gandhi went out of his way to Muslim League, and they always, insulted him and repudiated him and made a joke out of him. And see, his intentions were also pure and very saintly, and what damage he has caused to the nation. So you look at what SGPC is doing. They can have namaz, people do namaz to do in the Gurdwara. They can behave well with the Congress. But the BJP or the Hindu element or the RSS, when they go to embrace them, you're a brother, they spit on your face. Because the thing is, their entire ideology and reason of existence is do Qaumi Nazariya. So if you say you are my brother and we are one, they say, oh, you are attacking our very foundation. They don't want to be your brother. And you Please stop being your brother because you don't understand the damage you are causing to the, the brother. And the last point I would make is, I have the highest respect for the army. There is, sir served in the army and I salute to him. You see, when he goes to fight on the border, and I'm just making a fair point. Please don't take it personally. You are known, your family would be well taken care of and safe. In Punjab, when the Punjab police under, KPS Gill went to fight, do you know what happened? They knew that their family would be slaughtered. For example, this guy Sukhdev Babbar of Babbar Khalsa, the day he was killed by the police in 92, 37 policemen and 63 of their family members were killed. This was the price we paid to bring back peace in Punjab. And this is not for Mr. Modi or even 10 times Mr. Modi or anybody, to gamble with or something. This is something so sacred and something this is so priceless that nobody should play with the peace of Punjab. And when you do this with the SJPC and the Khalistanis, you're basically undermining the peace and brotherhood of Punjab. That is my point. And I'm sorry if it offended somebody, but my duty as a Sikh and somebody who's believes in Bharat Mata is to speak the truth, even if it hurts.
No, the truth has to be the truth has to be heard, it has to be accepted, and the truth has to be applied in trying to ensure that there is no repeat of what happened as far as which is being marked today as the Vibhajan Vibhishika Day. We don't want another element which is going to try and break away, and that was again a handful of people who were so fundamentalist and radical, and it's a bunch of radicals on the other side. That nation is a failed state 75 years down the line, but it happened at the cost of this nation being torn, not into one but now into 3 different nations. That's what had happened. That's what happened. We'll talk about that when we come back after a break.